Welcome to the Immigrant Experience in America, an immigrant human library, where we amplify and humanize the experiences of immigrants in the United States and around the world. Listen in as we add another story to our immigrant human library.
Today my rise like the sunrise, my bright and my upright. No one can broke my vibes. I may not care who I fight, I know I criticize. I'm on the higher heights. So you can say what you want to and do what you want to. It's no concern to me. I come out my one vision, me dip on my one mission to rule my destiny. Oh, it's my day to do anything I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. It's all mine, my day, my time, my life. I beg you, easy now, give me some reason, and don't invade my space. I'm in a different place, different phase, moving on my way. So if you feel like a champion, then nothing can go wrong. This one is your song. Hey, put away your troubles, put away your worries, help me sing along. Oh, it's my day to do anything I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. It's all mine.
Friends, I join you on an early morning here. Beautiful outside. This episode is called Coming Home to Myself. Credits to the artist Taurus Riley. Name of the song is My Day. I absolutely love that song. It speaks to me. The energy just gets me up and going and wanting to tap into my destiny and to do what it is I'm here to do. So I'm on a journey this year, 2023. I call this the year of no. This is my year of no. I have been going through quite a bit of feelings of depletion, just feeling just no energy. And just realizing, my gosh, Simone, you're constantly on this treadmill, achieving. And it started back, I think, I want to say back in 2013 when I started noticing that I wasn't really rising and feeling joyful or happy about all these achievements I was just chasing, right? I was just, so I started questioning, like, what is driving me? Doing a lot of just self-help reading and talking to people, listening to podcasts, and just observing myself, going internally and observing myself. Someone said that the world happens within you, within your body, within your entire being. And I encourage you to slow down and take some time to just go within, observe your mind. What are the conversations that are constantly replaying as soon as you open your eyes in the mornings? And what's driving your behavior, your responses, your reactions to things? I just realized that I was just on this this train, and a lot of times life was passing me by. I wasn't present. I wasn't really fully enjoying what was taking place in front of me in the now. And when I look back, looking on my life as a young lady, just realizing just how many times I was criticizing myself in my head, just never felt enough. I remember when I was much thinner, when I was younger, and just this constant playing of a message in my head that I was fat, that I was, just never having feelings of being satisfied with where I was. And I was in great health. I tell you, when I look back at those photos now, I wish I could go back because I was wearing just a very good sizing clothing. I felt healthy. I remember my mom saying, Simone, when I would come home from college, like, you need to eat. But the truth was that I was eating and I felt satisfied and I was focused on studying and, you know, surviving my teenage years and my 20s, right? Figuring things out, figuring me out, figuring people out. And but I was healthy. I was healthy, and I actually thought that I was happy. But as I got older, I started realizing that there were, you know, you get exposed to social pressures and people's messages, you know, like just be so careful about the messages of who around you is speaking into you, who is speaking over your life. What are you taking in from what you're watching on social media, on through media in general, TV, radio? What messages are you letting into your psyche? Because that some of those messages are what are going to replay back to you, right? And also the unconscious or subconscious part of you, things that has been passed down to you through your bloodline. This is such a deep conversation. So I just recognize that, you know, since my mom passed, I've been on this journey. I stepped out, I started this podcast, and I just have been going. The same pattern, right? Just pushing myself. I don't even know that I've mourned my mom as yet, actually, because I went back to work, took time off to take her home to get her buried during the pandemic, came back home, just continued working, experienced a huge loss in our family, another huge loss in that same year. And I just kept going. You know, the podcast kept me going. It was something that was bringing me joy doing these interviews. And I tell you, I just stopped and started observing that I had no energy to really do the things that I needed to do, and started reflecting on, like, Simone, like, you know, are you doing the things that bring you joy, the things that make you happy? Are you with the people that are important to you? Because a lot of times life can just keep you on this treadmill and you realize that the people that are the most important to you are the ones that you're neglecting just because you just get up and you're on this automatic, like, you know, doing, and you go through life not really choosing consciously, being present to do the things that you are here on this earth to do. And so I started this year just going through reflection and deciding that I was going to practice some boundaries to protect Simone's energy, to protect my integrity, my personal integrity, because I recognized that people were not respecting my boundaries. I started this whole boundary journey back in 20, I want to say 2012, roundabout there, when I was in the DC area. And boy, I did not know how difficult this would have been. I remember getting a call from someone to protect all persons involved, asking if I could pay their rent because they didn't have the disposable income that they would have to go into their savings in order to pay their rent. And my response was, oh, you know, I'm sorry. I have my rent coming up too, right? And at the time, I owned a property and I was paying rent. Completely exhausted and overwhelmed and not knowing how I was going to do both of these two things, right, on my own. I wasn't married then. And I'm a very private person, so I didn't really share this with a lot of people, whether in my family or friends group. I was just carrying this to myself and trying to figure out, praying. You know, I guess I had taken too much on right out of college, you know, buying a home and trying to support a very important person in my life. I went overseas to work, and then I got reassigned back to come back to DC. So it an interesting time, just very stretched financially, and I had obviously taken too much on as a young professional. My response to this person was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I have my rent coming up too, just like you. And if I were to help you, I would have to go into my savings, to take money from my savings to give to you, and you already have your savings, right? So I'm sorry, I can't. This person got so upset with me and was very passive aggressive with me in the years after I told them no. I had been practicing trying to say no to this person because I recognized that they were irresponsible with their spending habits, and they would just come to me, lean on me for certain things. And I recognized I really needed to practice some boundaries with this person because it was sucking my energy. I was giving so much to this person at the neglect of other people who should have been more of a priority in my life. Let's just say from 2012, 2013, I want to say I think is when it happened. And the years passing, just seeing how this person, just observing how this person was just not pouring back into my own tank, right? A lot of times we pour out, but if we don't receive, right? Life is giving and receiving energy. And if we constantly give, our tanks are going to be empty. And I just started realizing that the people who I was receiving from, that I was neglecting because I was so busy with school. And a lot of times I was more focused on who in front of me needed me most, right? And this particular person I thought needed me. And so I was basically just giving all my attention to this person whenever they called, I was available no matter what time of day or night, right? And it was very eye-opening to me that this person, when I actually came onto a point of just needing somebody to talk to, how this person responded to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, my priorities are completely out of whack, my boundaries with this person. And I just recognized that they did not hold me in the same esteem or priority level. They were just living their own life, and basically over the next years constantly gave me change back messages because they did not appreciate the fact that I was changing and putting in new boundaries to protect myself, because there were certain places where I did not feel safe emotionally or otherwise with this person because they were taking advantage of me. And I even noticed other persons surrounding this person starting to act passive aggressively towards me. And obviously they weren't pleased because I had stopped fulfilling this role that I had been filling for so long. And I tell you, it was growing pains, right? I had to take on this growth mindset because I had to stick to this goal of changing for me, right? And so I've been going through this journey now for a number of years, but I had continued on this whole journey of just striving and going after the next thing, achieving, and not really paying attention to whether I was doing the things that would make me happy and bring joy to my heart, and caring for the people who were should have been the priorities in my life, right? I was just stretched so thin, and I recognized this year that I needed to come home to Simone. And so I started practicing saying no to so many things, so many requests from people, requests for money, requests for assistance, so many other areas. It was very difficult at times, and I didn't realize just how much I had a hard time saying no. And, but it got easier as I started practicing. It was a divine thing. It's hard to explain. And so I started saying no at the start of 2023. Some people didn't understand, right? One person got really upset with me, but whatever, that may be it. But a lot of times when you need to come home to yourself, you have to stick to whatever boundaries you need to set for yourself. And I've been on this journey going through this book, Set Boundaries, Find Peace, and then another one by Bell Hooks called All About Love. And so, oh my gosh, my eyes have been opened to how much I was neglecting myself. And I'm more determined now to make sure that I do and find myself in the present, making decisions that will fill my cup so that I can give from a place of fullness and joy, and making sure that Simone is being prioritized so that I can give to the people who really need to receive from me. So this is my episode, coming home to myself. I hope you'll be inspired to do the same for you, because I know a lot of us immigrant women or immigrants in general have such a large community outside of our immediate nuclear families that we would like to bless or support and give to. And a lot of times that can be overwhelming. So be encouraged. Check out those 2 books. You will find a lot of assistance and support in how to go about on that journey of coming home to yourself. Walk good. Take care. Love you all.
Hey, give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. Oh, chimney, chimney. Today my rise like the sunrise, my bright and my upright. No one can broke my vibes. I may not care who I fight, I know I criticize. I'm on the higher heights. So you can say what you want to and do what you want to. It's no concern to me. Come have my own vision, me dip on my own mission to rule my destiny. Oh, it's mine.